Rider number 88 is going to be Gavin Wilkins out of Minnesota on the Yamaha 70 is Josh Hempen out of Louisiana on the Yamaha. Challen Tennant number 71, Willis, Texas native on the KTM. Brock Gurley 73, Boonville, Indiana on the Suzuki. Maxwell Murphy number 74 out of Westfield, Massachusetts on the KTM. Thomas Richards 78 out of Whitefish, Montana on the Suzuki. Number 81 is Cameron McAdoo out of Sioux City, Iowa on the Kawasaki. 83, Lorenzo Lacrucio. 88 is Chandler Lindsay. Justin Cooper, 91. Luke Perther, number 94. And we are off and running with a Yamaha, grabbing that hole shot. But we'll see. 250 or Open Pro Sport class underway. Yamaha's out front. Look at that. Is that Luke Perther in the number 2 spot? There he goes, and Perther fires out into the number 1 spot. Luke Perther, have a day, my friend. The number 94 of Luke Perther, a new addition to the A-class. There he is on the number 94 Orange Brigade KTM. This kid, he's fearless when it comes to the starts. There's the number 43 on that Yamaha. Somewhere we have him. Dustin Winter out of Kansas putting the pressure on Luke Perther. Look at this kid.
Perther, man, hanging it out. Back end stepped out, doesn't care. Back end bouncing around, doesn't care. Boy, this track is pretty brutal at this time of the day. We had weather that we've seen before at Loretta's, but we've never seen weather like this early in the week. We're completely saturated the track. We've lost a lot of time, several hours behind, in fact, in the racing schedule. And for Open Pro Sport, that means the track is not only super rough from all that rain, but it's a little bit hotter. These guys thought they'd be riding in the early morning. So it is treacherous, and here comes the cavalry. You got Perther riding well out front, but you've got, what, 6, 7 riders about to bear down on him.
Yeah, there's Winter in the number 2 spot. I see Blake Green in the mix as well on the 48 Yamaha. The 45 out there as well. So a lot of our favorites, Chase Sexton, Cantrell.
They're in the
Michael
back.
Byrne.
Egan Maston is the 45. He was up front here last year and doing pretty well. Oh, but Maston got a bad hop on the end of that tabletop. Now we go into the sweeper.
And there's Sexton. He's about in the number 5 or 6 spot. He's just got that group of riders right in front of him. And the lead has been changed over.
How about that? Good run. Winter getting back around the 88.
These aren't your usual suspects. I'll be straight up. They're not the guys you normally see out front. Perther, I've seen him grab some hole shots because he's just not scared to do it. But Sexton, Cantrell, all those other guys are going to have to work their way up to this battle.
So Dustin Winter now into the lead. He made the move on Perther. What happened there? We got standing water on the track. We got a water crossing practically built into this thing. Let's give you the top 10 rundown after the first lap. Winter now leading Perther. Bradley Taft has quietly climbed up to 3rd. So that's one of your contenders on the 19. Cameron McAdoo is 4th. Egan Maston 5th. And it's Sexton, Ashton Hayes, Richard Jackson, Ramler Alves, and Gavin Wilkins. That is your top 10. And watch out, the 94 Perther's coming back after your leader, Winter, and Bradley Taft's coming after them both in the 19 and 3rd.
Just outside of the top 10, you've got Michael Mosman, Blake Green, Sean Cantrell, and Challen Tennant. Those are 4 very, very big names in this class, and they've got some work to do.
Taft going to work on Perther now for 2nd. Taft, who's been riding with the Star Racing Yamaha Pro Riders, riding with Cooper Webb, Aaron Plessinger, Mitchell Harrison, training with Gareth Swanepoel, and putting that training to work right now as he tries to get Perther. Boy, the track is so rough that you're seeing sections. A guy will close in. You think he's clearly the faster rider. Then one bad line, one bad choice, loses a ton of ground. Perther, a bunch of mistakes, but he's running the prime race line, and Taft not able to do anything with it.
Dustin Winter, your leader right now. Perther with the feet flying off. Looks like the helmet's about to fly off his head. Just a wild-looking rider there, but he's fast in that number 2 spot. Pick him up on the 94 KTM.
There's the 19 of Taft, and just in front of them is Dustin Winter on the 43. Winter riding well here in the summer. Cameron McAdoo, want to give him a shout-out. He is riding, I've found out, with a broken humerus. Yes, a broken arm. That's
not even
right
funny.
at the very top under his shoulder, and hasn't ridden. It did about a week and a half ago. First time he's ridden since that was yesterday in practice. He's a gamer. The folks at Club MX say he's going to go for it, and who knows? He's not too bad right now, riding with that broken shoulder, broken arm. Cameron McAdoo. Oh, big pass. It's Bradley Taft underneath Luke Perther.
Yeah, Taft had a great spring national out of Freestone, winning several races, a couple of championships. So Taft, no stranger to winning these things. So Taft, the first of our big heavy hitters, up towards the front of the field. Taft with a little problem, though. Perther almost closed in on him. So it's Winter, Taft, Perther, McAdoo, and there's Sexton now starting to zero in on our 5th place rider.
He's trying to get Egan Maston, who's on that 45, into the 10 Commandments. Sexton, you notice him on the red Honda. And this is a salvage moto for him. I'm going to assume a bad gate pick that's picked at random. So sometimes riders come in with all the hype, but it doesn't matter as far as getting a gate pick. He's having to work his way forward and doing a good job with it right now as he tries to get Maston. This is for 5th.
Open Pro Sport, what bikes are you on here? You on a 250, you on a 450?
Obviously, they can ride 450s, but I think a lot of these kids are choosing 250s.
Cantrell's going to be on maybe a 350. Taft should be on the 450. Something to consider there. So couple that with a bad gate pick and being on a 250F. That's tough.
Taft now starting to zero in on your leader, Dustin Winter. Nice job flat tracking it around by Taft. Getting closer, getting closer. They pulled away just a little bit from Perther. Then McAdoo hanging right with these guys despite the big-time shoulder and arm injury. Hurt a couple of ribs as well. There's Taft. Closing up on Winter, your leader.
So Winter again comes across. He'll lead another one right in front of us here in the announcer's tower. A pair of Yamahas. There's Taft now starting to hit that big finish line jump, putting this whole thing together now, making a run at leading this thing. He's going to need to do that, as I expect to see Sexton up towards the front by the end of the race. Off into that soft stuff. Taft just about brought the bike to a complete stop.
Wow, what an outside line. He's practically back in the pit area.
He was in the mechanics area.
Went into the pits. Took away such a wide line there. Another wide line from Taft as he goes around the anthill.
And there's Perther now having to deal with, is that McAdoo?
That's McAdoo in the 81, so he has gotten up to 3rd place despite riding with a crack in his humerus right beneath his shoulder. And yes, there is no funny business there. That is a serious injury, and the dude is shrugging it off on that number 81, the white machine. Yes, backed by Moto Concepts and Smart Top. Michael Lessie told his dad, Tony, this kid can ride. I see him down at Club MX. Let's help him out. They brought him to Daytona. He battled with none other than Austin Faulkner down there at the Ricky Carmichael Amateur Supercross at Daytona. Now McAdoo up to 3rd in this moto. And your battle for the lead is on, Kevin.
Yeah, there's Taft. He has been stalking your leader, and we're done. We're going to make this pass here, and I got work to do because Sexton's made his pass as well. Sexton has cleared McAdoo. Now, new leader Taft is now out front. He gets past Winter. Man, good job for Winter. Get out there to lead some laps.
Taft's going to try to light that berm up on the outside. Just keeps using that long way around. And it has all worked together for him now. So Brad Taft in the lead on the Yamaha. 2nd place, another Yamaha rider, Dustin Winter.
Up and over the big Camelback, then into the single. And he's really starting to air these jumps out like we saw yesterday. Track's almost coming back to the way it was. A little rougher, but they're able to put the jumps together around the big Thor sweeper as they work their way towards the finish line. And
so is
Sexton
it Taft's moto? Is it? Oh, a mistake. Winter stalls the bike in 2nd. Cameron McAdoo going to pick up a spot. Chase Sexton, who has gotten around Perther, goes by as well.
He's going to look over and yield into traffic there. Give that rider the right of way. Over the tunnel of love goes Chase Sexton.
All good. All right, 12 minutes left in this moto. What's going to happen? You can see Sexton. He's trying to get Cameron McAdoo into his sights. McAdoo riding with the injury in 2nd place as Bradley Taft tries to take advantage and get away from everyone and lock down a first moto win in what we expect to be a week-long knockdown, drag-out battle for this very coveted Open Pro Sport title. Here
Tony
comes
Alessi
Sexton.
sticks his head in from the Smart Tops Racing, wants to know how long this moto is. His rider, Cameron McAdoo, they put a little JB weld on that bone, want to see if that JB weld will hold. It's only good for about 22 minutes, so they put it on during their parade lap, and it's just a roll of the dice now to see if that bone will hold.
They're in there welding on it.
JB welding it.
Welding on that arm. They bolted it together with titanium to try to keep the weight down.
Yeah, we're making stuff up here. Tony did stick his head in, though.
Yeah, he did.
Into your business.
All good. Here comes Sexton is really close to the back tire of McAdoo now. Much ado about McAdoo, but Sexton, feet off the pegs. These ruts are just so deep right now.
That straightaway has gotten 3 of our leaders. Reynolds, Romano, and Falk. All 3 ate it right there.
That's where Falk went down.
Yeah.
That was the previous moto. Falk 250B appeared to have it in his sights and lost it through that section. So no leader is safe when the track is this rough. Bradley Taft trying to get away, so we'll keep watching his battle for second. The 81 of McAdoo, the 22 of Chase Sexton. Sexton has already signed up with the Geico Honda team to be their next big hitter out of the amateur ranks and into the pros. Probably see him at Unadilla in 2 weeks.
In that 250 class, drops it right by us over that tunnel of love again. Still a couple laps. He's sat behind McAdoo. He's got to get in there close enough to pull the trigger on a pass.
We're still calling it the tunnel of love. Still going with that.
Yeah.
Into the tunnel of love. They're going around the water hazard in that section. Got to keep the ball out of the water.
Yep.
Keep it out of the rough. Trying to get on that fairway.
Keep it out of the rough. Good luck with that. This whole track's rough.
Oh, there is no fairway here. The bad lie all around.
Take a mulligan.
I'll tell you, Sexton has not been able to get that much closer. He got about this distance, I'd say, what is this, 5 to 8 bike lengths behind McAdoo. And last lap, McAdoo has managed to hold him. Now we go into the 10 Commandments, and Sexton's trying to up the pace. And Taft is not too far in front.
Yeah, they're absolutely close. A 2:01.6, the fastest lap of the day. So we're getting close to that 2-minute Mendoza line. And Sexton, the first one to approach that in the number 3 spot, as he's trying to get around McAdoo, who's just upped his pace every time he's gotten close.
All right, no choice for Sexton. He has to follow through here. There's only one good line as they come out of Storyland and then back into view of the spectators here in just a moment. Great battle for second in Open Pro Sport. Sexton getting a little closer. This section is very difficult. Feet off the pegs for both.
Got a shot
back in sideways. Yeah, here's Sexton's shot.
McAdoo's got that inside line. This is where it looks like it's faster, and then they're about dead even, but Sexton's going to scrub it, and they're going to race to the right-hander here. Who's got it? Sexton does it.
Wow, Sexton almost came off. Bike swapped totally sideways on him. He held on. So second place now for Chase Sexton despite the bad start. Will he try to run down Bradley Taft, who only has about 2.5 seconds of a lead?
Absolutely. So Sexton starting to string together some good laps. There's Taft right in front of him. He can see him. There's Sexton. So now he's got some clear track. Several laps to go. About 6 laps into this one. Over the tunnel of Sexton one more time. Heading towards the billboards. Lap riders in front of him. Get those guys out of the way. And there's Taft. There's Sexton. Yeah, we got a race, Jason. That's it.
You think Sexton's going to go after him?
Oh, he's right there. He's a second behind him now.
Well, that's what people wanted to see. These were two of the biggest names coming in this week, Taft and Sexton, and they are now 1-2 in this Open Pro Sport class.
So the Yamaha rider, there's Taft, there's Sexton in that same shot. Sexton's got a good line through the 10 Commandments. He's tripling there about midway through. Goes wide, just bringing half the dirt with him behind him.
Oh, Taft!
Down goes Taft. He will relinquish the lead. Sexton, just like that, is your leader.
Wow. He must have gotten, I would think, cross-rutted. Can't see the faces of those 10 Commandment jumps from our angle. Wow. So Sexton was trying to get there to put the pressure on, but at that point,
it was there.
Taft had enough of a lead, fell down all by himself, and suddenly Chase Sexton has come from, where do we have him?
Here's a look here. He gets cross-rutted. You're right. The front end drops down, and he hangs a hard left. He was making a berm on the top of that jump.
Yeah.
Gets back up, already spotting everybody coming towards him. Smart guy.
Yeah, good job, actually, on the quick recovery for Taft. So now Chase Sexton into the lead.
Hey, of these 7 motos on the day, how many of them have been – the lead was inherited via a crash?
Yeah, you're right. A lot of crashes.
5 of them?
Yep.
Well, okay, Chase Sexton, here's your shot. There's a sniper sitting up about 3 stories in one of those windows there. He's got the bolt action, just like in Saving Private Ryan. Pop, you get the lead, they shoot you.
It sure seems that way, especially that one section, the sandy turn on the other side of the track.
The Bermuda Triangle there. There's Sexton now. He's got lap riders. He's got this difficult racetrack to deal with. Now they come past us here. The announcer's tower one more time through. Still plenty of time to go, though. We're only at the 14-minute mark.
Wow. Plenty of time for Sexton to throw it away like everybody else has in these motos today on this very unforgiving track. He's going to go through the water. Now works his way around it.
Isn't it funny how the cream of the crop usually find their way here? Jet Reynolds, you expect him to be there. How he gets there, it's always different in every race. Whole Shot sometimes comes through the field. Guys crash around him. He doesn't crash. What's that Chad Reed coin that you got to be in it to win it? And that's exactly what Sexton and the rest of those guys have done.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what position we first saw Sexton in.
He was at least in 8th or 9th.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Made a couple passes, got around McAdoo, then took the lead when Taft fell. Oh, and almost that same exact mistake that cost Taft almost threw Sexton off the bike.
First call inside the top 10 for Sean Cantrell and Michael Mosman. They were in about 12th and 13th, respectively. Justin Cooper just outside the top 10 at 11th. Rambler Alves is 10th. Dustin Winter is 9th. Sean Cantrell is 8th. Richard Jackson is 7th. Mosman 6th. And Maston, Perther, Taft, McAdoo, and Sexton leading this thing.
McAdoo, great run in 2nd. Taft, after that crash, has recovered for 3rd, as you mentioned. We'll see if maybe have a battle for 2nd before it's all over. That was McAdoo right there on that Moto Concept Smart Top machine in 2nd. Factory Connection Geico Honda for Sexton, who's in the lead. There's the 81 of McAdoo on your screen. Headed over the Rocky Mountain. That's actually our good friend Ray Butts from Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Just lays down. They ride over his bearded face. He's a very large man, so that's a huge obstacle. That's kind of surprising that they put that in the contract, that he has to lay down on the track for every single moto, get ridden over. But Ray Butts, he'll do it all, man. Whatever it takes. Help out Rocky Mountain ATV MC. There's McAdoo on the 81. How far back is Taft? Well, it's a pretty good gap. It's about 8 seconds after Taft had the crash in the 10 Commandments. And we're going to welcome Megawatt Matt Watson back to the show. Been out there slinging speakers, breakers, channels, the whole 9.
Man, when you say the whole 9, you got that right. We had some gas cans, extension cords,
cans.
transponders. We had a little bit of everything today, man. So up and at it at all corners right now. Not exactly 100% perfect the way we want it, but we're going to keep working on that throughout the rest of the day there. And I can tell you what, man. How about the action today, Jason Wygant?
Hey.
As you mentioned earlier, holy cow, some things that were supposed to go one way did not. And you know what? Some other things following the script.
Yeah, the track, sometimes we blow these things up and maybe hype it up and get people excited. But it really has, this track, the gnarliness of the rain has absolutely made a difference in the racing.
Tim Ferry standing out there just said the same thing out there checking out the race on the deck. Probably get him in here to talk to us in a little bit. But what has happened today, what the conditions were this morning as we were waiting things out, everybody just, kind of overlooked that situation, maybe overworked that situation a bit. Yeah, there was some standing water here and there. But as we know, the staff knew exactly what they were looking at. They knew exactly what this surface would take. And, man, after only about 3 to 4 motos, this thing really took shape. It looks exactly like we'd expect it to look under maybe normal to heavy watering from the truck.
Yeah, it's not a mud race.
No.
It's a little bit, the holes are a little bit deeper, the rut's a little bit deeper. I'm sure it's a little bit stickier. But that's it. Not a mud race. As we're watching Perther here on the 94, who was leading this one for a little while. He's now got back to 4th. Here's Taft.
Looks like that's where our race is at right now, too. And I tell you, look at the choices of lines. There is no shortage of places to pass, Jason. These guys right now, no follow the leader anywhere inside the top 10, I don't believe. Everybody has a different line. Everybody has the option to take a different line. And it doesn't matter where you come up to a guy, you're able to make a move on him. You don't have to wait. You don't have to set him up. I mean, a lot of times that helps. A lot of times that's the strategy. But you have an option anywhere on this track.
And
the corners, the straights, the jump faces, anywhere you want to make a move, you can.
When you have a muddy track, man, it often becomes one line. So it's good that there are some passing spots. Taft on the 19. I'm trying to see if his goggles, he's got goggles, I think. As he goes by, he might have to deal with some heat from Perther, 4th place. McAdoo looks to be secure in 2nd. He's got about 5 seconds on Taft.
I tell you, Jason, one thing I noticed you're seeing down there on the podium, I want to tell you what, everybody under the tent absolutely spent today, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow, man. Conditions not near as terribly hot as we've seen here in the past. To me, actually good conditions today, really. And looking at those top 10, holy cow. Every one of those guys just leaving it all on the track today. But I'm surprised that a few of those guys aren't really just, standing up, a little more spry. Man, when they got off the track, every class I've seen so far, every one of those tents, there's somebody laying underneath of it.
Yeah, well, I think the track is just causing so many mistakes. Amount of times we've seen riders with feet off the pegs, and then you know what happens then. You just put the death grip on the bike to try to hold on.
Seen a bit of rodeo action myself out there while I was working on some speakers today. Seen a good bit of dog paddling and some cross-rutting today. So saw all the circus acts, man.
Only rider hasn't had a problem for the most part, Chase Sexton. You just saw him in the lead, 22. Smooth out front.
The guy's got a unique program. I got the opportunity to talk to his parents, or his dad, the night before last. They're camping right beside us. And they just got a unique outlook on the racing. And, the way they look at the racing is the way they look at their son. That's not all he lives for. That's not his total existence. If things don't come at a rapid pace, no big deal. They've got a long-term plan, and if it works, it works. And if not, it's not that big a deal. And that's great, man. Not a lot of pressure there. And this young man right here, rolling right through with that program. So looks like everybody working their way off the track right now. Chase Sexton with that win right there. Lap times of about 2:07.376. Looks like Cameron McAdoo, he was turning about a 2:10 on that last lap. And looks like Bradley Taft in that third position, he run just about a 2:12. So looks like just about 2-3 seconds in between first and second, and then about 3 seconds in between second and third place. Well, as we expected, this one a crazy race. A lot of action right from the start. Chase Sexton coming out with the win. Now, Cameron McAdoo in that second place. Bradley Taft, he's followed by Luke Perther and Egan Martin in the number 5 spot. Getting the podium set up down there. Got that number 22 machine perched on its stand. Looking good there on our Rocky Mountain ATV MC Motocross Amateur Nationals podium. Getting ready to send it down to Jason Wygant, the Weege. Been doing a great job all day. Getting a lot of information from our riders, finding out exactly what's happening out there with the conditions of this track, finding out exactly what these riders are going through, what we can expect to see later in the evening as this track develops even more. Looking really rough down here just before the finish line. Things starting to develop a good bit, but man, oh man, when we take a look down in here into the last left-hand tree corner, there's at least 9 lines going into that corner. Got to be at least 3 to 4 lines to work their way through, so shaping up really nice today. As we said, no standing water. Been all the way back through Storyland, all the way around the track basically this morning, and really starting to shape up in consideration of exactly what we saw this morning. Holy cow. Actually laying down a little bit of water in some of the sections back there in the back, starting to dry out just a bit before some of those jump takeoffs. Looks like Chase making his way down to the podium right now.
All right. Let me take it over from here, Mega. Oh, wow. I might have to do some writing by the end of the week. All right, here we go, folks. We got a moto win, and this was not easy because he had to come through traffic to do it. We'll give you the gold medal right here. Well done. Open Pro Sport Moto 1 winner is Chase Sexton. Did you have the bad gate pick? Because you definitely didn't get the start I'm sure you wanted.
Actually, I got like 17th gate pick, which I thought was pretty good. Yeah, I came out great, and then I just got sucked up by the 450s. I'm running 250, so that's a little disadvantage on the start, but everywhere else, my bike was handling great. I just can't thank that whole Amsoil Factory Connection Honda team. Christian Craig coming out and supporting me, my trainer John Westling, and everybody that's helped me out. I can't thank him enough.
All right, let's hear it for your Moto 1 winner, Chase Sexton. Let's get McAdoo on up, second place. All right, this guy is the dark horse. Really stepped his game up the last couple of months, and he's showing he's continuing his climb, taking second place. of the Smart Top Moto Concepts team. Let's hear it for Cameron McAdoo. First of all, that's a great ride. But the first thing is, I've heard you're coming in here actually a little bit beat up, and it doesn't really show.
Yeah, you know, I really wasn't sure if I wanted to show any weakness, but last Monday I had a little pretty bad practice get off, and I fractured my humerus and had a few fractured ribs, so I really wasn't even sure if I was going to get to race. So I'm just happy I'm out here with the best guys dicing it up.
Unbelievable, man. How was that moto?
It was good, you know, it's pretty rough. The rain actually settled in a lot better than I thought it was going to, but rough, rutted, you know, and got off to a decent start, though come around, and I just rode 20 solid minutes, I guess.
Who do you want to thank, Cameron?
Oh, first of all, I'd like to thank Mike Genova with Moto Concepts Racing, Tony Alessi, Mike, all the crew at Club MX, you know, Brandon, Mike, Sarah, Miss Deborah, getting my meals all dialed in. My mom, my dad, Roy, my sister, 100%, Race Tech, you know, Dunlop, and 6D, Fly Racing, and anyone else I forgot, thank you so much.
Awesome job. The Moto Concepts team is here at Loretta's, and they put a rider on the podium. Let's hear it for Cameron McAdoo. All right. Good run. He's definitely in title contention. We're looking for third place now. And he ends up with a bronze. He had the lead, and then this track has bit a lot of riders, and unfortunately he becomes another victim. It's muddy. It's tough out there. Third place. Let's hear it for the Horton Yamaha man, Brad Taft. All right, Bradley, I'm sure you're a little bit bummed. What happened there in the 10 Commandments?
Yeah, you know, got it to a great start and just made quick passes and got in the lead, and I don't know why, but I took a different line that lap. I knew I shouldn't have taken it, and I just hit a square edge, and the bike kicked completely sideways, and I tried to hang on, but I couldn't.
Still, besides that, were you happy with the riding?
A little bit. I rode tight, so hopefully we can go back, make some changes, and come out better for this next moto.
Who do you want to thank?
Horton Racing Yamaha, Yamalube, EVS, Thor, Monster, Ethica, Scott, Garnet, Twin Air, Donnie Luce at Yamaha, my mom, my dad, my brother Daniel, my mechanic Jordan, my trainer Gareth Swanepoel, and just Dunlop, everybody, thank you so much.
Let's hear it for Bradley Taft, third place.